To continue, would go to part 3. Now we're on the Executive Office of the President. Couple things. It reports directly to the President and performs staff services. It's not located in the White House. The top positions in these agencies are filled by presidential appointments, but they must be confirmed by the Senate. There is a principal agency list on page 374 in your book. The most important one is the Office of Management and Budget, typically nonpartisan. It assembles the budget, develops reorganization plans, reviews legislative proposals of agencies, and has become a policy advocate in recent years. The next one is the Cabinet, the chief executives or secretaries of the executive branch departments. This is a product of custom and tradition. However, it is mentioned in the 25th Amendment as, quote, the principal offices of the executive departments, unquote. I would tell you to read your 25th Amendment, please. It is not a truly deliberative body. Eisenhower came the closest to making it a deliberative body. It has major executive departments, where one sits is determined by the age of the department. The Secretary of State is the oldest, and therefore the Secretary of State sits right next to the President. The power to create these appointments gives the President power to reward friends and political supporters. Last are the independent agencies, commissions, and judgeships. The President appoints to agencies and commissions that are not part of the Cabinet. These are quasi-independent agencies. They serve for fixed terms, and they can be removed only for cause and not at will. The President can remove Cabinet officials at will, but because these are quasi-independent agencies, he is not permitted to do so. The President also appoints federal judges, subject to the consent of the Senate. They serve typically for life, unless they are removed by impeachment or conviction. The limits on presidential removal powers are absolutely necessary to preserve the independence of these agencies. We do have a new feature, and it's called acting appointments, where someone who has been chosen holds the office until the Senate acts on their nomination. The President defends this as a result of slow-paced confirmations. The senators attack it, saying it's a violation of the Vacancy Act of 1868. Here are a list of the Cabinet departments. Who gets appointed? Well, lately, presidents pick people known for their expertise rather than political following. Now who gets appointed? Well, lately, presidents have been picking people known for their expertise rather than their political following. They need to consider politically important groups, regions, and organizations also when making appointments, such as you would have picked the Secretary of Labor to be acceptable to the AFL-CIO. You would also recognize that women and minorities, especially President Obama, have helped you get elected. Rivalry does develop at times between department heads or these experts and with staff, which are the extensions of presidential priorities. And so sometimes the White House staff, which are the extensions of presidential priorities, sometimes try to usurp the experts. We're going to stop here. This is a short one. We'll pick up with presidential character and so on in the next podcast.